Today, I want to kind of do this a little bit like a round table. And I want to share this as well with other women entrepreneurs because really the businesses that we are building are because we want to change something in the world. And today, I want everybody to start with their sharing to be an I believe statement, right? So it's going to be our typical pity and power party where we share our struggles in our business, but I want you to introduce your business through the lens of what you truly believe in, right? Because this is such an important part as well of social activation and speaking about your business with confidence and clarity. And this is one of the biggest blocks that I see in success in businesses because people don't really know how to talk about themselves. And they don't really know how to say that with confidence and clarity to other people. And so then nobody knows what you really do. And then they don't really know that if they want to use your services or not. So this part of this is like getting so clear on what it is that we do and speaking to that with that confidence. And I believe that a way that we can really activate that confidence, if we think about our tagline and our business niche through the lens of the way that we are changing the world based on what you truly believe in, right? Because most likely you saw something, right? A way of something that's being done right now, the status quo, right? A way, an approach to things. And you were like, that is not working, right? And you saw that you want to create a way to fix that. So, as you introduce and do your sharing today, I want you to introduce that through the lens of I believe and what it is that problem that you really see in today's society or with the way that things are being done, and how your business fixes that, how it provides the very solution to that problem. And the way that you speak about this, you'll really go away from this. And I will tell you that whatever your I believe statement is, that can go and be a social media post, like for sure. And that is how we have impact, right? Where we really speak to these beliefs with that confidence. And you'll also see that when you can act like accurately speak about this, how that the next time that someone asks you, what is it that you do? You're going to notice these same words coming out, and it's going to come out with a little bit more clarity and a little bit more confidence. And you'll see them perk up like, oh, that's actually quite interesting. Because I also believe so much about storytelling, how we activate through telling our story. The story gets better the more times that you tell it. So this is the thing, right? We're just not talking about our business in this way. And so many times maybe this everyone can resonate with this. You're at a party or at a dinner party or at a business event, and someone's like, "What do you do?" And you're like, well, I don't know. It's kind of a little bit of this, and then I do this, and blah blah blah." And they're just like, "Oh, okay, that sounds interesting, right?" Like it's you're not convincing anybody of how your business is changing the world, right? And I know I'm really a true believer that, like I said, you most likely created your business because you want to do things differently, right? You're bringing about these different solutions to the world. So, and then I want you to tell me, finish off your kind of statement with a current struggle that you're having in building that, or just some insights that you've had about building that business. And so, I'll go first, right? So, to give you an idea. Now, I believe that we need to move the money from all the people who hoard it into micro businesses who are changing the world, right? I truly believe this. And as I have 15 years experience in digital marketing and content, I really saw that this was the block for these small businesses. They didn't know how to talk about themselves with confidence, right? And so therefore they are not getting the clients and the success that they should, right? So all that money is still going into those big corporations and all those bros, right? And I then find all these women who have way more skills and talents and gifts than these people, but they don't have the success, right? And that is what I am so passionate about in my business. And I do this through self-activation mentorship. Now, I will say that one of the big challenges that I had, and this is basically what my mentorship is all about, and the course that I created, Dysfunctional, and why I have this group, one of the big blocks that I found to building this was that I didn't have the confidence that I could change people's life. And I didn't know how to speak about that, right? And personal brands, it really relies on an energetic. So you can imagine if I have 15 years experience in content and digital marketing and my first holistic business still failed, this is what made me bring back that marketing aspect and that messaging aspect into my holistic business, right? Because if I failed with all that experience, all these women who are starting businesses have zero experience in marketing and messaging. And I was like, oh, okay, I can bring my experience and help these people. So even I really struggled with that, with personal branding or what I call me marketing or marketing yourself as a service. It's so hard to speak about yourself, especially when it's these new age, innovative ideas, right? That no one also really knows what are about, which is why I want to start everybody with these I believe statements today, because you have to believe in what you are bringing to the world, and you have to believe that you can change people with these innovative ways of doing things, because like I said, they're often quite new, right? The world hasn't really seen them before, so you have to convince them with your confidence. And you often are in me marketing, you are the walking marketing of your business, right? If you are not confident or you don't display the outcome or the transformation of what you're truly selling, then other people are not going to look at you and be like, oh, I want to be like her, right? So if you're kind of like still not very confident or not healthy or whatever that is, who's going to want to emulate that? You're not selling yourself as a service, right? So you really have to step into that belief in what you do. So I'm going to go around and everybody is going to share. And then, as I said, start with your I believe statement, how your business is fixing this and what's a struggle that you're having in building that. And then we do some live coaching and we all kind of just like share our stories, which is such a powerful social activation space as well. So I'm going to start with Julieta. You're on my left on the screen.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Let's do
Uh,
it.
I don't know. Let me see. So I believe the family structure and the connection we have with our children is broken through the educational system that we currently live in. And I focus, concentrate, try to fix the problem by bringing us back to the roots of our authentic self through human design, self-directed education, and a complete different way of living in partnership with your children.
Love
There.
it. Love it.
Well,
Yes.
thank you. And the struggle that I'm having, um, I don't know that it's a struggle. I just know that I am in a phase of restructuring. So I'm doing like a branding, making sure that I have the tools to not have to pick font every time I do a post. Like I'm just trying to set my tools in place. I do have a lot of reflections in human design. I'm a 4/6. I'm on the roof. And I've been on this journey for 5 years of self-directed education, unschooling, world schooling. So yes, my energy, I'm a manifesting. So let me start there. I'm a 4/6 emotional manifesting generator. So there's a
All the
lot.
things.
Yes, there's all the things, and they're all beautiful. But I'm concentrating into audio, so I'm doing a transition from different platforms and stuff like that. So it's not really a struggle, but it's just happening. So it's a slower, it's a it's a foundation that is being built. But I am completely happy where I'm at this point, and creating the offer that will come up eventually that Casey and I will share, but at some point,
Well,
but
or today, soon.
yeah, but it's yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. So lots of foundation building podcasts. I have a podcast, I have a 33 episodes. I've been a guest on 10. I do all of the work myself. I do all the production, all of the stuff. I do all the works and I love the work. So yeah, very, I don't know. Yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you for sharing. And yeah, definitely there's a couple things there. Like now with AI and automations, right? I don't believe that AI should ever replace your authentic voice and storytelling, but it can help automate the processes. So from a podcast, you can actually then go and use AI tools that will take out snippets, right?
Yeah.
That can then turn them into reels. And then you can take AI video, which can convert to text, and that can then become a post, right? So you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
minimize that work so much. And I do love how you say that you'll think about creating the product soon. Like we all deserve to be earning money from our
Yes.
gifts. And most people, they think about the product suite and how they're going to make money as an afterthought. This should come first because what are you actually drawing people into, right? What's the point of doing all this sharing and all this work if there's no invitation? There's no way that they can invite you to be like, oh, I want to work with you. And then you're like, oh, okay. Like you need
That's
that's as
so
important as your I
fascinating,
believe
though.
statement.
Yes, I love that. But you know what I've been diving into more? I'm still not, I'm clear on how I do not want to do one-to-one coaching.
Good.
Like,
Okay, that's clarity.
I'm just not, I've been going in and out of that, but I'm like, no, that means that that's not what I want to do. So I was speaking engagement in June in New Hampshire at a conference, at a self-directed conference. And I'm really excited about that because I get to do that and move in and out. Like I don't like, so yeah, so there. Sorry. Let's move
That's
on.
no, that's really good because that's clarity. Like sometimes
Yes,
knowing what we don't want is as important as knowing what we
yes,
want. So you
yes,
haven't said that to me before. So that's really exciting. I'm like, okay, right? That's a hard no now. So that's progress.
yes.
We've also talked about like when you create as manifesting generators, I don't know if there's other manifesting generators here today.
Are there any other?
Are there any other today? Hmm,
No. Oh,
no.
I'm the only one. Oh, gee.
Um, so like you create so much content, and
Yeah,
you know what? Sometimes it's just like I keep saying, put it in a vault, charge $55, they get lifetime access, right? That's still something, right? Imagine that 100 people sign up to your $55 vault every month. So simple,
yeah.
right? We think that money, making money is difficult, but it's actually very simple. So sometimes just like spending one day, I know you've created so many
Oh,
lead
yeah.
generations and guides and this and that, and you could just put it all in one place, put a membership on it, and there you go, right? $55 lifetime access. People don't even think about that, right? That's a new pair of shoes or a dress, right? So you can
Yeah,
already start thinking like that and so simple to create. So I
I
love
know.
that. Thank you for sharing, Julieta.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go next around my screen today. I'm going anti-clockwise. So Natalie, tell me about your business, your belief statement, and your struggles.
Hi. Okay, well, I believe that we are all here to work our way back towards divinity or the stars from where we came, and and I believe that yeah, I believe in a life of service, and yeah. Let me see. I wasn't ready for this question. So I believe that we are all here working our way back towards the stars, and I believe in a life as a human on the physical plane that also involves like some spiritual notion or some reconnection to the source, or to just being human, like just to learn how to be human. That's already powerful enough. And so it's always been a matter of awakening and consciousness and spirituality for me since I was a kid. And I believe in living in harmony with nature. And I believe in making the time and the space in our lives to have that spiritual discipline and like restore the earth as much as we can in the lifetime that we have, for ourselves and for others that are coming after us. And yeah, just healing our karmic lineage. Like that's kind of the bottom line of what I believe in. And so I have always been dedicated into I've done a bunch of things which I'm, integrating them. I've always been trying to integrate them, even though they look like spread out, but they're actually really just in the core, it's all about the same thing, which is what I just expressed. And so, ecotourism and permaculture workshops. I was doing a lot of permaculture workshops for many years, organizing them, learning about the land, how to do it, and how to design, and how to learn from the teachers, so that when I, in the future, had my own land, I could at least have the know-how, because I didn't have the money. So I was on that journey. And so it's been 20 years since I've been on the journey of just trying to be at service with, different tools, fire walking, and, Mayan calendar, and ecotourism, and permaculture, and, ceremonies. I've been really involved in the shamanic ceremony organization with like the shamans from the indigenous tribes, etc. Traveling, I'm from all over the world, so it's like I was traveling for many years, so I was doing all of these things like in Switzerland, in Greece, and Mexico, la la la. And now my business really is it's I don't know, I would like to like own more the word, like the business, like it's my life. And so my life is my business. It's my everything. It's what I do. I don't have a separation from what I like, where I live on my land now, which finally after 20 years I was able to get and build. We're still in the building phase. And so my business really is I've been trying to bring that down into a very simple term. Like I organize transformational uh experiences, whether it's retreats or ceremonies or firewalks. I organize I create and design and organize and execute transformational experiences. And so some of the difficulty for me has been social media, and getting not falling into, like, I'm very weary, and it's always been a very big noise for me to uh not fall into the new age wave of everybody's a shaman, everybody's enlightened, everybody's doing, I mean, there's many people doing amazing things, but that's very different than the I am so amazing, so aware, oh my God, come to me, I'm gonna tell you how to do, like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be commercial. Of course, I want to film my events, but like, it's not about that. And so it's a very thin line between doing the work and trying to put myself out there, but without like being, oh my God, look how beautiful, like, look in this picture, come and visit my whatever. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I'm allergic to. So I limit myself a lot, and I don't want to like speak too much about, like, it's a block for me. Like, I don't want to speak too much about like my trajectory, blah, 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 because I don't want to sound in any way like that. But at the same time, I didn't start yesterday, and I mean, it's been a lifetime of work, and so I really want to like unblock that, the social media, the marketing. Like, I don't like to be in front of a video camera, but I know that social media, is about this. And so yeah, it's just about getting the right tone and setting the right tone and being confident in that the material that I'm presenting, it's not about me anyway. It's about everything else, and it's about each person. It's about the mirror that each person really is, about life. And so that's been my biggest struggle, and yeah, just really not wanting to mix the whole ceremony world with like being a business. Like, I don't mind to make money from a ceremony if there's enough people, but because I don't treat it as a business, it's a very warm space, not many people. It's like I really take it so seriously, and so I sometimes lack the business side of it.
Yeah.
And so that's my biggest block
Yeah, and
at the
lots of
moment.
people can relate to so much of what you said. First of all, being multimodality, right?
Yeah,
So many things that you bring into what you do, and it's really hard to speak to the one thing. And that's why I
yeah,
talk about your beliefs and the problems that you're fixing. That helps you to speak to one point so people can understand most people don't care about the how. They want to know the what. Like, what are you going to do for me? Or what transformation am I going to have? And this is
Yeah.
also the perfect workshop for you because I don't believe in selling, right? I
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
telling our authentic stories and our thought leadership. And that's why I'm leading this, today's workshop with that I believe statement. If you just talk about what you believe in, you naturally attract other
Yeah.
people who believe in the same thing and you create groups around that, right? Like there's so
I
much
believe that.
power. And I mean, I just also literally filmed a video called Trick about, are you chosen? And I'm like, it's a trick question. Everybody's chosen. If someone tries to
Yeah.
differentiate
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
people are special and some people are not, run because everybody is special, right? There's no such thing as,
Right.
you know, like having to talk yourself up, but you still have to talk about what you do. The kind of
Right.
work you do is very intimate with other people. Like they want to know who you are. They want to know
Oh,
who
I
you're
forgot
meddling.
to mention one very important thing. I'm so sorry, but it might also like be part of the whole thing. Like I have a long trajectory, and that's kind of the only thing I make like business out of is the sexual Tao like alchemy, Taoist sexual alchemy, which is also super taboo, especially in Mexico, full of Catholics. Oh my God. But but yeah, sorry. I just wanted that as a parenthesis. That's the only place I kind of like make money, kind of.
Okay, sometimes the market
Yeah,
tells
yeah,
us
sorry.
what people are interested in, but I don't believe that we can't make money for our services. And like also I just did a workshop on what it means to be selling your soul or servicing other souls, right? And following your soul strategy. If you are following your soul strategy and you are in alignment, then you deserve abundance from the world for doing your soul service. And unfortunately, the
Yeah,
current exchange that we use is money. There's nothing evil about it, right? But if you're following your soul strategy, then you deserve food and you deserve money and you deserve all of those things. So it's also just breaking through that as well, right? Like there's nothing wrong with saying what you believe in, bringing groups together around beautiful transformation and getting a proper energetic exchange from that. So thank you for sharing. I'm sure many people can relate to so many of those struggles. So I'm going to go
thank you.
I'm going to go around the circle and then we'll end in the middle. So next is Elisa.
That's me. Am I muted? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. So what do you believe in?
Oh goodness, that is such a big question.
See,
And
this is the
so
problem, isn't it, right?
yeah, it can go answering that question can go a number of different ways. And so as you all were talking, I was getting prepared. I was like, let me pull up all my little documents and things. Um, because I just rebuilt my functional resume, and so I'm really loving the profile that I came to. So I'll read that um, because it includes both kind of my beliefs, my um the kind of well, let me just read it. I'm a community builder, a divergent thinker, and a creator of win-win-win moments. I have a bias towards justice and a penchant for efficiency. Informed by a decade in the service industry, transparency and collaboration are values that define how I show up at work. As a former VC-backed sales professional, I thrive at translating complex technical processes into digestible solutions to business problems. Um, but I also am a relational master. So if I can work one-on-one with individuals to craft their own personal value proposition. As a cultural worker, I'm in my zone of genius when I'm holding space to folks to be vulnerable and building partnerships based on authenticity, community care, and transformational change.
Okay. And how do you have a business that is focusing exactly on this? Like, how does your business speak to that?
That's what I'm working on. I am,
Hey, that's why we're all here, right? That's why we're doing
yeah,
this exercise. And you see, like, if you can't tell me, I'm like, I'm already lost, like, I,
yeah,
maybe I love your energy and I love what some of those words were, but I'm like, I don't even know how to invite you into something, right? Maybe
yeah,
we're a great
yeah.
match. Who knows, right? So tell
No,
me
and
in a
there's a
tagline.
formula that has been coached to me as like a way of doing that that just feels very in the way that who was just speaking? Was it Natalie who was just speaking?
Hmm.
Yeah, was just talking about like the kind of influencer vibe that we don't really want to give. Um, and so it's like, the if you need, what's the formula? Um, I'm the person you need for X because of Y. And if you're up against Z, then I have the qualifications to help you get ABC results. And that
Exactly.
just feels very formulaic. But I know that that gets to the point. Also a multi-hyphenate. So I've done a few things. I've freelanced for um, like engineering firms and small outfits that are working on B2B processes and infrastructure. I've done event curation across a number of different kind of spiritual and cultural practices and lenses. I have done sales and business development for individual business owners like lawyers and dentists and stuff like that, and like getting their SEO together and figuring out how to fine tune digital transformation basically for
Mhm.
organizations that are owned by boomers that don't want to get on the internet. And I think
Angle.
what I want to what I was most recently working on was a in partnership with an ex co-founder that ended abruptly. And so now I'm in a position where it's like, okay, wasn't expecting to be here, but what have I gathered up until this point, and what feels most resonant in terms of how I want to direct my specific set of skills and expertise um, to align with how I'm going to sustain myself, what I want my workday to look like. Um, and yeah, I'm not sure. There's a few different things. Like I'm working on this digital product that's um called like the escape plan for people who are looking to transition slowly out of like a corporate job into doing more of a freelance um digital nomad type of lifestyle, because I've done that. So I don't know. There's a number of different things that I'm kind of like juggling right now. But again, I'm 12 days out from a completely career and life shifting pivot that was not expecting. So this is
Yeah.
right on top.
Right on time, right? Life loves to throw us curveballs. And in the moment, it feels like I remember screaming at the universe and being like, why do you hate me? And I look back, I'm like, oh, this was all meant to happen, right? That complete breakdown helps for a complete realignment. And we're so scared of being in that void, but actually in the void is where our ideas grow, right? And we have that space to blossom and morph into our best version. So it sounds like there's a lot of things there. This is exactly, I'm going to send you I have a business strategy startup to help you kind of get clear. And there's one exercise, the people who are already in the group, they know this exercise. It's really how to find your success niche. And there's 4 pillars to it, right? And you can do the exercises of each of the 4 pillars. It's a little bit of a combination of human design and ikigai to just help you get really clear on what you're passionate about, what you know, the way that you do things, right? And just allowing you to really tap into your success niche, right? Because you know what? If we're not passionate about our businesses, that's why I'm doing it from this I believe statement. If it's something that you truly believe in, you will always be passionate about it. There is no point building a business that 6 months later you're like, oh, I hate this, right? We're not building businesses to not be something that's aligned and not be something that we're not truly passionate about. So that's what part of this I believe exercise was, to try and help us really get clear about, like, because if it's what you believe and you're changing the world and your business is changing the world, that's how we tap it. That's what makes us want to get up every single day and to last the distance in your business and what you're building. So there's definitely you know, we've coached through many people who have been in that stage. You know, Julietta knows all about this being a manifesting generator. When we started maybe 6 months ago, she had so many things, and now even just, you know, well, less than 6 months, she's like, okay, I don't want this, I do want this, right? So you're on the right path. Thank you for sharing that journey. And yeah, I'll give you that exercise. Maybe that can just help you start getting so clear about what you want to build, right? So I'm sorry about the big life shakeup right now. That sucks for sure. But it is an awakening. It is a new journey. So thank you for sharing. Okay, next is Michelle.
Oh, you really want me to come on camera?
Oh, you're in the cosmos.
Yes, I want to stay there.
Okay, I'll come join you.
Um, yeah, so I guess I believe, right? Uh, all right. I would say that I believe authenticity, right? Being your authentic self is a revolution, right? Because so many people are not, especially women. Um, especially, women in general, but I see it a lot in women 40 and above.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot. And so to, embody that revolution and to lead their life on their own terms, not based on their conditioning, what other people think they should do, um, and all that stuff. So I really believe that.
Yeah. And how
Yes.
is your business fixing that problem? What's the block of that?
How is my business fixing that problem? Well, um, well, I work with women, right? 40 plus, right? So, most of them are in some kind of a transition, right? So like they're going from like Karen Curry Parker says, right? Disruption to the void and then to the opposite side of that, right? So that's what I would take them through that process, right? Based on whatever transition it is that they're going through. And to help them to stop like people pleasing, have stronger boundaries, stand up for themselves, and not shrink themselves, and, be empowered, like actually embody that empowerment, not like say I'm empowered until something doesn't go my way and now I'm not empowered anymore, which I've been guilty of. I've been guilty of all those things. Um, so, just using like human design and somatic and like trauma informed and resilience coaching, regular coaching to help them to shift that and to help them to anchor in those changes, right? That's what the somatics is really helpful too, right? Because, you know, change is scary for everybody, right? And if you're making like a shift in the way that you're showing up in the world, it's so easy to self sabotage and go back to the way you were before. So I think that that's like a really important part to anchor in those changes. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
all I've got right now.
I mean, I know your business, but I'm like, I'm not hearing enough of the somatic that blocks all this. I mean, I heard it once, but I'm like, you're such a subconscious somatic release coach as well, right?
Yes. Hmm.
But this is the thing, right? It's like just really fine-tuning the way that we say things. So it's just like everything's in there. And, actually, I used to be a journalist. And when you have like very set space, they used to talk about how every word must hold the weight of its space, right? And we would do all these exercises of writing a headline, but maybe it has to be 5 words. So you really think about the semantics of each word. Like, can I swap one word out that is more powerful and more descriptive than the previous word? And so my whole life, well, when I was younger, was so much about words and meanings and semantics, and how when we bring it down and start playing with the semantics, how we can turn a very long-winded or not very powerful sentence into something that just clear cuts through the message and says exactly what we want to need. And I know that you just had a launch as well, so tell me something that you're also struggling with.
So what am I struggling with? Well, everything. Yeah, I did a master class, right?
Yeah, you did your
You
master
know,
class.
I did it on Eventbrite, which I will never use again. I highly would suggest not using them.
Okay,
Because there was a
fair.
ton of technical issues where like people couldn't even get tickets. Like it was
Oh, that's annoying.
rejecting everybody's credit card, and it wasn't even like it was a lot of money. So there were a lot of technical issues, and I was going to run it again this last weekend, but thankfully nobody signed up because like I had like a flu, so I didn't even do it, right?
Okay.
But nobody signed up anyway. And the same exact thing happened this time that happened the last time with Eventbrite. So because I have Go High Level, I'm just going to set it up. I'm still like trying to set up my website, fix all that stuff because it looks like if somebody looks at my website, they'll be like, what is that? The back end stuff, So yeah, and then I was thinking, and it's funny because Julietta said it. I absolutely, 95% sure that I do not want to do one-on-one coaching
Okay.
because
That's good.
I don't have the energy for it. And I don't know if
Yeah.
that's going to change, you know, whenever I can go full time in my business, right? And, I probably would do, a lot less of one-on-one, right? Because that's high ticket, right?
Yeah.
So what I've been really thinking about is instead of like the authenticity revolution, right, is like my signature program, right? So I was thinking of doing like a gateway program, I guess they say in the industry, right?
Yeah.
Which is a group program, right? Like on a smaller scale, and then people could, if they wanted to work with me one-on-one or do VIP a little higher, they can do that, right? So that's what I was just, been thinking about. And also Julietta, she's talking about a podcast, and I have wanted to do a podcast for at least 10 years.
Oh, well,
So it's funny because I already have everything mapped out for like my first 10 episodes. And I will call it the Authenticity Revolution, right?
love it.
And it's going to be a solo show, and I will and it's funny, I had ChatGPT give me this whole thing about like, batching it out and it's funny because, it knows I'm a projector, right? When you have the energy, do 3 to 5 hours, batch it out, do all
Batch
that
it.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of excited about that because I've always had coaches tell me not to do it.
Okay.
And it's always something that I wanted to do. And I'm like, what? And actually, someone said to me, oh, well, if you're going to do a podcast, it has to be video. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. No, it does not. And I know for me, yeah, I'll do video if I have to. I don't love it. I don't think I ever will love it. And I personally feel that when I'm on video, unless I'm on a class or I'm talking to people, something is lost.
So true.
I'm not authentic. It does
Yeah.
not matter how much I try. I am not Michelle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something is lost.
Yeah.
So
love
like,
this.
being on a call, like coaching people, that's a different interaction, right?
Mm.
The camera's on, doesn't matter how many times I've done it, because I've done it, a lot, especially since I started working with you. You're the one
Yeah,
who
you
kind
gave
of
it a good try.
got into at least doing it, right? So yeah, I'm like, a video podcast, yeah, there's a lot of them out there, but there's of audio podcasts. And I'm an audio person. I listen to audio books because I'm going here, doing this, doing that. A lot of people don't want to watch video.
Yeah.
There are people that do, and some people do both. And I'm like, well, but I think that just feels like, and I have my mic right here all ready to go when I'm ready to get that thing, everything set up. So I could just go. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. So I have to, now mark this gateway program, right? So I've been trying to think about all that.
I love
So
that.
it's a lot. And I'm like, oh, because I don't want to, I cannot, I know myself, and you know it about me already too. I cannot be ever present on social media. It just does not work for
No,
me.
we just can't do
Cannot
it.
do it.
No.
I can't be like posting every day, doing it. It sucks the life out of me, and then I don't want to do it at all.
Yeah.
And I've done it before where I walked away, that from social media for like a year or more at times. I'm like, no. So I don't want to get myself to that place because I do want to help people, but it has to be in a way that I can manage it energetically and mentally and physically and all the other things. Yeah. And then on top of that is my job, which by the way, I cannot stand it. The lady is so passive aggressive. I am like, oh, okay. Well, I could retire in January if I really want to.
Well,
So-
we'll get your business going first.
Well, yeah, I would have to do that because I couldn't do it if I didn't have, because I could never live on Social Security. So, that's hopefully what's going to happen between now and January is I could be like, you know what, I'm done. I'm retiring. Bye bye. Have a nice life. See you later.
Yeah. Well, I love all these insights. And, we just had the full
Yes,
moon,
I just want to say you could totally do a one-man show.
right?
You could
That's that
totally have your own
personality.
stand-up. Wisdom through stand-up one woman show.
It's so
That's funny.
true. Yeah, and I love what you said, right? Like, I deliberately did plan this on the full moon because this was like a real full moon of like just releasing those old things. And it's like you're saying, you've had this dream for 10 years to start a podcast, right? And now you're like doing it, and I'm going to do it my way. And I know
Hmm.
Juliet said, why would people advise not to do video? Now you can do podcast only. It's just that people advise to do video because you get all of it, and then you just extract the audio.
Yeah, you can
You have
extract it.
video,
Yeah.
then you have audio, then you can make
Hmm.
reels, and that's why
Yes.
people normally don't
Hmm.
advise it. But I know you and I have worked so hard on your video thing, and it's like we just know that that character just disappears. So if that works for you, I'm
Yes.
100% here for it. And I'm so excited. Your one-on-one program can easily just be a group program. You've got all the topics, right? We were even
Hmm.
planning it out as a group program at the beginning, remember? So I'm super excited about that. So I love that. And that honors your energy cycles or your low energy as a projector. So it really,
Hmm.
and I think the podcast will be great. As Natalie said, like, she can already see it, right? She doesn't even know you. She's like, I can see that. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
and I would do it, at least in the beginning, as a solo show. Like I'm not looking to have people on right away or anything like that. And then, I figured I'll do it for a year and see how I feel about it. Give myself a year. Um, and if I start to feel like it feels like work, it feels like which is what I don't think it's going to feel like that. But if I know that that's what it starts to feel like, it's sucking my energy out, then I know I have to shift and do something else, right?
yeah.
But
Yeah. I
you
love that.
know,
And you know what? It's like I was just telling Julietta before as well. Now we have so many tools. So even with the podcast, AI can cut out sound bites that you can still post on social media. People would still listen to a short post, a sound bite, or do a audio to text AI conversion, and that's your post. You don't even have to write your post. You have spontaneously spoken the words into being. So that makes a lot of sense too. So thank you for sharing. Okay, I'm going to go up to Nancy now.
Hello.
Hi.
So I believe that disease, generational trauma, parasites that are stuck in our gut, and spiritual energy, that spiritual energy, are all huge contributors to our health issues here in America. And what I'm doing about it is I am creating these deep cleanse protocols that require commitment to your health in order to release generational trauma, these parasites, these worms, these flukes, all of these intestinal succubus entities, I like to call them, that are stealing our energy. And I can say that from my own experience of doing that, I have renewed energy. I have things that I didn't even think I liked, foods that I had never even thought I liked that I do like now. I don't eat as much. I feel better. So I really believe that creating this protocol to get rid of these parasites will not only, like, for our body, release them, but also give us back our energy, our spiritual energy, really help us connect further with divine, and just transform us into a whole new person.
I love that. Very, very
Yeah,
concise, clear. I understand what
yeah,
you're doing.
no
Now,
more.
that's good. That's good. And each time you say it, right? Because we're also in the last months, and each time you say it, it's like it formulates a little bit differently and it adds new words and it has more confidence and clarity. So I love that. I love this exercise. By the way, everybody,
Yeah,
you
thank
go
you.
away and write this down and keep writing it and tell people. And that's how you get more and more confidence and clear about what you do. And so
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about what you're doing or a struggle that you're having in building that business.
So, I feel like my biggest struggle right now is, as a 4/6 reflector, is like I love going 100% till I burn out.
All in.
I'm like a
All off.
tornado, you know, I live here in Florida, like a hurricane, sorry. Like I'm just like go and then crash, right? And so I feel like, you know, I have been a health coach for 13, 14 years. So in the past, I have burnt out. I, you know, created a successful business, but I wasn't enjoying it because I was so tired and exhausted. So I think, you know, with your help, Casey, it's now not doing that, being able to enjoy, you know, the abundance in my life and still have energy to go like travel and, you know, hang out with my daughter and my boyfriend and do all of these beautiful things that are the point too of not only helping people, but also enjoying my own life and the abundance that I am gifted for helping others. So that's my biggest struggle. You know, just kind of formulating, just being patient with formulating this cleanse and all the things that, you know, are involved in it and really just coming up with, well, I wouldn't say come up with ideas because I love being creative, but it's just like being patient to not have it right now and know that it's gonna, you know, slowly flow as it's supposed to, trusting the divine. So
Yeah. I love that actually, the patience, right? Because
yeah.
I don't know if everyone knows their human design, but you know, Nancy's a reflector like me. We're non-sacral, so we don't have consistent energy. We burn out a lot. But again, like if you're not building a business that you're passionate about, the other big thing is that if you keep burning out in your business, why are you running a business, right? Like that's why we got out of the corporate world and the rat race is because we also want abundance of energy and rest. And you know, if anyone in their chart has that undefined root chakra, it always feels like there's not enough time and you're behind and you're running out of time. And this is what happens with new business owners. They just constantly think, I have to get it all done now. I don't have the success. Lack mentality will trigger all your best intentions because if you feel like I'm not getting clients and I'm not making money, you start doing all this unfocused action and just going way beyond. And often you get burnt out, but half of that stuff you don't even need to do. If you just stepped away, you'd be like, oh, that's not even important. If I just refocused and did the next most important power play and the next most important step, you know, that 80-20 rule, right? You want 20, I always forget which way it is, 20% of your effort to earn 80% of the results. That's really about being so intentional about what's the next most important step. So when we get like that lack and that, oh my gosh, I need to do it all now, even if we're excited about it. But, you know, if we don't know how to stop, rest, step away from the business, that's so important just to learn like, okay, my day's done for today. My energy
Yeah.
is done for the day. Like it just leads to burnout. And it's that patience. These things take time to build and that's so normal. We want instant results. So I'm really glad thanks for sharing about that patience. That's also been my message lately too. It's like patience. Things evolve
Yeah.
and grow over time.
Yeah. Just so my biggest lesson that you have taught me really quick is I don't know if anybody like else would struggle with this, but I always was a list person. And Casey was like, why don't you just go with the flow and you'll get the same things done just when you have that burst of energy, right? And that was really hard for me. Like teaching myself not to be programmed to get the list done and just I have to tick that box.
Yeah.
You know, and just allowing, I actually got more done than I did making those lists. I know that's crazy, but I was just like what? Wait, it's still kind of challenging, but thank you for that because like now I'm like, oh, I have energy. Okay, what am I gonna do? And then, oh, I am really tired. I need to take a nap. Right. And I got way more done. I was like, this is unbelievable. We're taught the complete opposite.
The
So
complete opposite.
thank you for
Yeah.
that.
And yeah, what Nancy's talking about, the people who have consistent energy and who do really well with structure and routine and forcing themselves, they get a lot done. And people who have energy waves, right? So they have really low energy or no motivation. And then they get a lot done in a short amount of time. But if you're not maximizing your rest and down cycle, then you really don't maximize that productivity cycle. So if you can rest more, So even now, I'll do like half a day of rest and then I just get everything done in 3 hours. And it's amazing how much this works. If that is, of course, the way that you activate yourself. Everybody's a little bit different. Everyone has to experiment what is their own unique mix. And Nancy's been experimenting. And I'm so happy that it's also working for you. So thank you for sharing. Okay, I'm going to go up. Sorry, you just have Psychedelia Consciente. So you'll have to introduce your name.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Elaine. I live in
Elaine?
Mexico City.
Hi. Okay. Hi, Elaine.
And well, I believe that life is very kind with us, and I think this is the first part why I'm today talking to you, because it just appeared like a gift for me, because I believe that in my case, I've been working with psychedelic medicine, with plant medicines for 22 years. It has been a life decision for me. And I believe that these plants and these medicines can give you a lot of remembrance, a lot of options to come back to ourselves and remember our path to go into our own internal gardens. But I also believe that they have been misused a lot in these last 5-10 years. And I also believe that when people lost this view that they are just a partner in life, they are not the solution, and they are not the thing that will give you the enlightenment you are looking for. I see and I believe that there's also a lot of lack of information related to safety and related to respectfulness about something that is so beautiful, so ancestral, at least in my country. And there's where my journey is in the next step, because I've been working all this for 22 years in a one-on-one relation with the people, and it's very profound and very intense to just go into the journeys, from the pain journeys of other humans, and it has been a lot of blessing for me to learn in other skin things also. So at this time, part of my own development, personal evolution, I was willing to transmit some things related to safety and to respectfulness, but I needed to feel the passion to do that, because I'm used to be one-on-one, and I'm not used to go like in front of many people. And so I still feel kind of weird doing that too. But at last 2.5 years, I've been developing my own methodology to create a more structured integrations for people who make high dose intakes. So I started to do like this journey of developing that, and I struggled a lot with technical issues related to making a video, making editions. It's like another world for me.
I know.
And I just put myself into, it has to be done. And at that point, I didn't have like the option to hire someone. So I just started in the journey to, okay, I will learn that. But I also went to the place where I just burned out learning things that I don't knew for. I don't have like a base of understanding some things. So it happened. I just did it, and yesterday I launched my first part of this program online. So it was from yesterday. I burned my new baby was born.
I love this.
And I struggle a lot with uploading the video and doing some technical stuff. So I was excited, but at the same time feeling super weird. Como this is the time, and now I got into a very easy way of just putting myself into this focus way that I just will do what it has to be done. But at the same time, I have not come to the struggle place because I was born yesterday.
Yeah.
But I see that the next steps that I need to do are related for with that you say now, that what is the most important thing to do now. And I realized yesterday that I don't have too much clarity understanding what is the important, because I have to upload some testimonials, and I have to edit my podcast, and I have to blah, blah, blah. So yesterday, I just decided to, okay, well, I will look for some AI solutions to see how which of them could help me to do different things. I want to automatize some things, and other things I just want to do them on my own, because I don't want to get too technical. Because even the people who knows me are also used to have this one-on-one thing with me, and I want that to stay in my project, even if it's online. I want to have the essence that it's me, it's not my avatar and that stuff. But yesterday, that I was like trying to see if there's something that could help me, I just get blown up because there are so many things now and so many options, and all of them give you the best marketing, telling you that this is the one ever for you, and you have to register on that one. And I really stopped like feeling I don't have any clue of if I have to believe in what I'm reading, how to compare them. I cannot just logging in all of them, because I think I will lose a lot of time doing that. So yesterday, my day ended like in a kind of limbo, not knowing exactly what is the importance now, no? So I'm there. I'm very open to what's next, but at the same time, I don't exactly know what's next. So I just want to keep going in the more efficient way possible.
Yeah. And those beginning stages, it's hard. There is a lot you have to build a business, right? And that's why sometimes, like, I say, just get the most important things out there, right? Even like I was telling Julietta, like, get the product done first so that when you start speaking about it, right? Don't waste all that energy in marketing and social media if the product's not already automated, that they can't just click a link and sign up and buy. And also, like Michelle said, right? She was having problems with Eventbrite. This wastes so much time. So you want to also make sure you have a kind of automated payment system, and then contact collection system, and then delivery system. And there's
because I already did that, the uploading and the video and the payment and the stuff. I have already two courses that are already to buy.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and I made my first video, and I have come there, but now
so far,
I don't know how much do I have to talk about this, how many times, I also have other work, so I can't just be like sitting there talking all day to the computer, So I'm there just like with a big super sign,
question mark,
sign, saying, okay, now what? I did my first big step. Now I don't know exactly what's next.
That's huge. Congratulations on that. And there are ways to kind of like make it easier. And like we were saying as well, now from your video, you can go use an AI tool that does video to text, and you can then just cut that out and make that as posts. But also now, like this is what this exercise was about. When we talk about what we believe in, that's how we stand out. That's how we get people's attention. And always another big block is people have a fear of being seen. Like it's so scary to get out and talk about your business and to sell, right? But just what you were telling me, like I believe that, people misuse medicine. Oh my gosh, that's your post right there, right? That's what you put as your Instagram post. And then you talk just exactly what you told me now. That is such a powerful message, right? And that's your post. And then make sure you link and sell your course, right? And this is how I am fixing the problem. Go check my course, right? So
You suggest that it's better if I do that on video, if I just appear talking and saying that.
whatever you want, usually a mix. But you find I don't coach people like other people. I say you do what you feel comfortable with and what feels right to you, right? Start there. Don't try and do it all.
Like playing too, no? So it can be just
Can just
like
be text.
well, I love
Yeah.
playing mode, so I don't want to get too strategic too.
Yeah. Doing videos is a lot. So that's fine. You do a video and then you can do a bunch of posts on Canva with text, right? So simple, right? We can simplify things. A big block of building a business is that we just complicate everything and do so much and get so overwhelmed that we do nothing and we take no progress. So I'm super excited about where you're at. It sounds like you know where you're going, you know what's happening, and just focus in on the next most important step that will have the biggest results and just go by that one each day, one task. I don't give 100 tasks, one task. That's it. If you achieve that, you celebrate. You say, well done, me.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Okay, last but not least, and just within the hour, Deborah, tell me what you believe in and how your business is fixing that.
Oh, so I wrote this down. I believe we can change our deep-seated patterns. My business does this by using hypnotherapy to reprogram the unconscious mind to end self-sabotaging behaviors. And so I'm also a 4/6. I'm a mental projector.
Oh, yes.
And I spent the last year, I'm finishing my clinical hypnotherapy diploma. So I feel like I've very much been on the roof, and now I'm dipping my toes into the marketing world. And it's quite overwhelming. So I did struggle with a fear of being seen. I would say I'm more shy. Like I can be extroverted, but my sort of personality is more like I don't really like people knowing too much about me. So I've noticed that as a hurdle and resistance to promoting my services and all that.
Yeah. This is such a big thing. And as a mental projector, right? Like that's your gift. Is all those thoughts. Like your thought leadership is such a big part of like what you're here to do in the world. And so that's why also these belief statements, like I try to activate women to not just think about it as social media. Like this is your thought leadership. This is what you believe in, like there's a bunch of men out there, and not just men, it's just anyone with that kind of confidence, just saying whatever. But then there's all these people with really great ideas and they're changing the world, but they just don't know how to speak about it. But it's important. That's your thought leadership. That's your wisdom, especially for mental projectors. So that's also how you stand out. Like you don't have to sell. Like I try to take that away, right? Just share what you believe in. And what's those unique thoughts that you get, right? That clarity. You have those drop-ins, right? It's like it just comes in and you're like, whoa. Just share that, right? And then, like I said with Elaine, just always make sure that you also make sure you're talking about what you do so that you're selling. But it's not selling, it's just letting people know what you do. They can't invite you into something, especially as a projector. They can't invite you if they don't know what you're doing. So you don't have to sell. You just say, oh, I'm doing this and this is what I believe, right? And then they will be attracted to you. So definitely like activating that voice, that throat chakra. And this is where we also look. I mean, it's so funny because our businesses are also usually fixing the problem that we have. You were like self-sabotaging and, and you have the throat chakra defined, right? So like what is that self-sabotage? What is that, childhood problem that stopped you from speaking out, right? So, and that's what you help other people heal. So that's so interesting. And like I said as well to someone else, like I have a marketing guide that also has a human design element. So I'll send that to everyone as well. It's just like this free three-step challenge of how to start your business and speak about it and market it. So some of you might be interested. I also have a digital marketing masterclass in that. So yeah, let me know how that sounds. And have you already started sharing a little bit on social media?
Yeah, so I was on a 5 year blackout on social media, and it was
Yeah.
like the best 5 years of my life. So I'm really begrudgingly starting back on social media. So I was all gung-ho, and at the end of February, I did like one post, and then only like last week, I did my second post. So I'm really trying to get into the swing of things, and I have to remind myself to get onto social media to look at things. So it just feels like a chore more than something that I'm enjoying doing. Um, yeah, but
Yeah.
I recognize that I have to work through that, and I need to be seen to be invited.
Yeah.
That's really important. And so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just trying to sort of change my relationship with what it means to be seen by others.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I don't force people into strategies, right? I know every single marketing strategy. I did it for 15 years. And um and I allow people to pick and choose. You've got to still pick what you get comfortable with. And I know a million strategies that work for individual people. Some people just slide into the DM with a very insightful thought and a Google Doc. I know people charging $1,500 per hour with a Google Doc and they're making money. So there's no right or wrong. There's no shoulds. You still have to do what's comfortable. But because you're a mental projector, you are here to share your thought leadership. So that's something. And then we see, right? Is it a block or is it because it's just not the right marketing strategy for you? So it could be a little bit of both, and that we experiment with what that is. But yeah, thank you for sharing. And I know Elisa raised her hand. Let me just address that and then we will all wrap up.
I just wanted as a former salesperson.
Tell us,
Sales,
yeah.
sales is such a bad word, and no one wants to be a salesperson, but we all love buying shit. Everybody loves buying stuff. No one wants to be sold to, but people love to spend on where they see value. So reframing the relationship to social media being like a voice or a billboard for your services to show your value. You're connecting to meet value for value, to deliver your value to people who share your values. And you're not selling them like a lemon. You're not selling like a car. You're not selling some people things that they don't need. Like it sounds like everyone in this room is a service provider. So we're not even selling things. We're not even creating waste. So like I think that's been huge for me. I just need to figure out what the hell I'm going to be selling. But people love buying things.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to be on the other on the providing end of somebody buying something that they love and value.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be sales to be a bad word.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, it's so true, right? I say that if you think you're selling your soul, it's going to feel like you're selling your soul. It's going to feel icky. But if you think you are servicing souls and following your soul strategy, you're not selling anything. You're helping people who need the exact kind of service, like Elisa said, the services that they need, right? You are helping people. And so that exactly like she said, if you just share your thought leadership, one phrase of what you believe in or what you think could change somebody's life today. Have you ever had that thing where someone says something and it becomes your mantra for like 2 years, right? And you're like, oh no, I remember that person said this, right? This is what we're all doing. So go and share your mantras with the world, and you'll be surprised how just one phrase that you say or one insight could change somebody's life. Like that's the work that you're doing. And thank you all today for joining me in this I Believe session. And I really hope that it helps you also just see your business in a different way. Exactly like Elisa was saying, we're not selling, but if you talk about what you believe in and how your business is fixing this problem, what you truly believe in, right? That is how you get that clarity, that confidence, and you attract and magnetize people to you in a very natural way, right? You don't have to do selling. So thank you everybody for joining and sharing in this circle. It was a very beautiful sharing circle. And thank you for the pity and power party. See, we all go away with our power hour, our power party. So thank you all. It was lovely to hear everything from you. So have a good week and keep building those businesses. I'm so excited for everybody.
Thank
See you
you.
later. Bye.